Hey, insiders. Have you ever wondered what some of the alternative outlets are beyond streaming services for your music today? Well, if you have, then you don't want to miss this episode with Bob Shami of Shami Media Group, where we discuss some of the alternatives to the traditional outlets for music, such as airlines, cruise ships, shopping malls, and much, much more. Coming right up. Managed to catch up with Bob Shami of the Shami Media Group. Bob, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
You know, you've been involved with both music from a library standpoint as well as motion pictures in terms of distribution. What are the biggest challenges you're facing now in terms of the music side of it?
Well, the music side.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give you a small little background. I started in 1994.
Okay.
Starting my own independent record label.
Okay.
And getting involved in dance and house and club music.
Right.
Which is, we go back to vinyl sales. Yeah. It's
12-inch, yeah.
12-inch. It was easy to deal with. It was not hard. You press a certain amount of copies, you sell them. You don't need airplay for that. And it was more of an easy transaction for us back in the day. Slowly went to CD, and then we transitioned to that, and then it went to digital, which was a little bit hard for me in the beginning because I'm used to kind of the old business fashion way. You press a certain amount, you price it, you get paid for it, and that's what you sold. You have a good song being played in the clubs, then you get it licensed, whether you license it to Europe. London was a big thing for UK, was a big outlet for a lot of the US house dance club music, and Asia, Japan, and all of that. So when the music transitioned to digital, I said, you know what, I'm going to put a break on it and get involved more into production. Not videos, more get involved in how to exercise videos, documentaries. We managed to do about 100, I would say, releases on DVD within about a year and a half. It's a lot of work. It took a lot of hard work from me. Yes, absolutely. Non-sleep there. I wanted to create a catalog. And the reason for doing that, I already have the distribution outlets for the music, because we've done a lot of physical. I already have some of the licensing partners worldwide that I license music with that already deal with certain types of content, or visual content, I should say, and non-music related, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no, so that was kind of a little bit easier because I already have the platform established. And I put the music on the side. And after a couple of years in 2000, I would say 10, I said, I want to get back to the music business again. I already have my small catalog of 5,000 songs. And I said, the only way to do it is to kind of become a hub. And not an aggregator, more like between a lot of the labels and the aggregators, which is, some of the big ones, the Orchard, the Believe, and, some of the smaller ones, Label Works, another one in the UK. And so I started signing catalogs from a lot of the labels and represent them and collect should I say, a pool of music of all types, from dance to EDM to jazz to lounge music and all of that, and creating albums. And started with 20, 30 releases a week of compilations, albums, 20 to 30 songs per album, and putting it through the aggregators, creating more of a factory of a lot of the music that we get out there, that we license from other partners, or label partners, I should say, in Europe.
Right.
And other places, US, Europe, Asia, and everywhere. So some of the challenges, really getting back to the main question here, that I really come across is, obviously, a lot of the music is available already out there for free. And a lot of the, many different sites out there. And that's kind of a little sad reality truth, but I have to accept that. The other challenges that I work with, because as you know, I'm already in the movie business, which is independent. I would say major motion picture, more on the independent level.
Right.
Yes. And I do a lot of sync licenses. But some of the challenges I come across with this sync license, a lot of the companies we work with, they started to gear towards more creating their own music instead of licensing music.
You mean the motion picture companies started creating their own? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a competition factor.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know why some of it, a major factor.
Yeah.
A lot of record labels don't own, some of us, I know I do for my own catalog, but I know a lot of them don't own their own publishing catalog.
Right.
As you know, there's master.
Yeah.
And there's, yes, 2 different
license
rights. And it becomes a competition between the publisher, who actually owns the publishing or representing whoever the writers are, the composers, and the record label owns the copyright of the master.
Right.
Yeah. So it becomes, they want a certain price and they want a certain price. Sometimes you have different writers involved. And then you have to have a lawyer who's going to be dealing with 5 different lawyers or 3 different lawyers or 4 representing these artists and these writers. So it becomes a little bit of an issue sometimes, you know. So this is one of the factors. But the other factors, again, making music gone cheaper.
Right.
Set up a studio. LeGrand, you already have a studio, like making a movie. You can grab a computer with certain software, a couple of cameras, and you can create your own independent film.
Technology has allowed everybody into the game.
Technology is great, but also, yes, it did, and which is great, gives everybody an opportunity. I'm a firm believer of, hey, everybody needs a chance. Everybody have the right to do whatever they want to do and grow at it and become good at it. But also at the same time, it opened the door where things become less and less and less valuable and cheaper and fat and easy. And you can put things together, and it's really, so you have to go through so much to find the good stuff. It's like a needle in a haystack.
Yes, much more so today than ever before.
Yes. Yeah, competition has risen. You know, so it's, I guess, part of, we have to adapt to it. You know,
Do you deal a lot in your library? Do you deal a lot in placement of licensing music to television?
Not so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
The film end?
Yes. Film. And what I gear towards, where a lot of people don't kind of touch that end of it, I go after cruise ships, placing music and content at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I go after airlines,
okay,
content and music also.
Okay.
Doctors' offices, spas. We deal with hotels, lobbies, elevators. You know, a lot of, yes, absolutely. Malls, retail shop, restaurants.
Which all subscribe to various music services for these kinds of things.
And content, believe it or not. Yes, many places they want content.
And specific pieces of content.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes they want music. Certain stores that deals with certain trendy athletic wear or, you know, like skateboarding or extreme sports. They want certain content. They want certain music in it.
Do you find as a content owner today, in terms of the kinds of music that's being demanded over the last, let's say, 10 years in movies, that there's a wider variety of music going into movies today than there was perhaps 10 years ago?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the kind of music I carry, I mean, back in the days when I started, Wacko Records, that's the name of the company I started in 1994, I only dealt with a certain genre.
Right.
You come to my library, I'm from all over the world. Asian. I have a big chanting music catalog. I got it from China.
Okay.
Yes, and Singapore. I have EDM, dance, lounge, house, urban music, hip hop, R&B, rock, jazz. Big, huge jazz catalog I have. Great jazz catalog.
So your catalogs are used more on a wider variety than ever.
Well, you have to listen. As we said, times have changed, technology changed. So you have to change with the times, and you have to adapt to it, and you have to become more. The world becomes small, very small, like in the palm of your hand. You know, internet and communication made us communicate and do business at a bigger scale at a short period of time. So we have to kind of adapt to that, and we have to change our ways of doing business and expand. You know, you're in the music business, you cannot be very narrow-minded. You're in the artistic business, you have to be absolutely open-minded at a level at beyond belief even. Yes.
You know, one of the things I'm curious, and you've addressed this somewhat, but I'm curious if this is your experience, that with the expansion of technology, the growth of so much music, has it put pressure on the price of the licensing to come down?
Fortunately, yes.
Okay.
We have to work double harder. That's why I have a huge catalog of 100,000 songs.
Right.
We have to work harder. Yes. And we have to, as I said, the competition. Okay. Competition. Music is available everywhere. Everybody makes music in the sense that, you know, there's a lot of kids out there with this small little studio in their basement, and some of them could create beautiful, great music. So the option to go for somebody looking for music now, it's beyond.
Right. It's endless. It's a buyer's market.
That's it. Absolutely. They can choose.
I heard it is.
Yes. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You can name your own ticket, as they say.
Right.
No. They name their own price.
That they do very, very much.
Yes. And you have to take it.
It's funny, in listening to you, I'm reminded of a statement that somebody made along the lines of what you were just saying, which is that here's the good news. The good news is that there's no more gatekeepers.
No.
More, okay. Here's the bad news. There's no more gates. They've all been mowed down and trampled, and it's created what you've talked about, is that literal overwhelm and needle in a haystack, and I don't have the time, and yet time hasn't expanded. Mm. We don't have more options on time. So it's created a whole different kind of, I guess, what we would call value system, where what becomes most valuable is how to get someone's attention.
Internet.
Yeah.
I would say I'll bring it back to internet.
To the internet, yeah.
I sign for the music and half of my catalog of film, independent film, through Skype, through email and internet.
Talk to me about the role of the internet in this, because that, I think, is a very important component.
Well, internet, it just made the world, as I said earlier, in the palm of your hand. Very small. You have Skype. Skype saved a lot of people traveling money, traveling ticket, hotels, going to conventions sometime even. So it kind of listened more face-to-face networking and doing business, which is I'm a big fan of. Looking somebody in the eye, doing business, having a meal with somebody, having a cup of coffee and doing business. And that's what really built a lot of the great relationships back in the day. But again, internet kind of made it easier and faster to do business, right, and to communicate with people. Sure, it took a lot of business away from us because internet allowed people to kind of take some of our music, bootleg it, simply saying it out there, and to kind of make things easier for people to download music, whether it's legal or not legal. So it kind of opened the door for other things that, every good things, it always brings in a bag of things that really it might be good for us and hurt us in the same time. Like taking a medicine. It might benefit you in one way and had a side effect of something else.
Precisely. Yes,
absolutely. So
let me ask you about your catalog itself.
Please.
From the point of view of new people, let's say new music that you want for the catalog.
Yes.
What is it that you're looking for? How does somebody get Bob's attention?
Yes.
In terms of submitting music?
Good music.
Okay.
I look for good music. I don't really sit and A&R every song. I cannot listen to 1,000 songs. I cannot listen. I just the type of music and I'll listen to it. And again, I might like something or might not like something, but somebody else might find it really interesting, whether it's for a movie or commercial, or they're looking to use it for a hotel or an airline or cruise ship. Say, oh, we love that type of music. We want it for our stores. We have a 50-store chain. This is the type of music we're going to be playing for the next month for that particular store or that particular outlets that we have or chain. So really, I look for good music, good music that I'm able to use it. I'm able to place it. I'm able to actually put it on compilations and albums and mix it with other catalogs. Because what I do, once I take all these catalogs, I don't release catalogs from one particular company. No, what I do, based on style and sound and season and location, geographical location and season, we create albums. Basically, we mix everybody's music together. So we make it a little bit different. Like why would I buy music for that company? Because I always kind of took that certain music, best of the best, and combined it together. So you'll get to hear, let's say, a certain sound of geographical location, let's say Ibiza, or you are in Miami or California or Italy, in the summer, or, it depends on the season and or geographical location of it, and the style of music and the sound, whether it's jazz, whether it's lounge, whether it's doo-wops or oldie or Christmas music or religious music or EDM or, children music.
Is Shami Media Entertainment a one-stop shop?
Yes, absolutely. We still manufacture. Yes, absolutely. We still manufacture. We do our own artwork. We manufacture and we distribute. I have accounts with a lot of the major chain retailers in the U.S. and Canada. A physical distribution. It's something I hold on to from back in the vinyl days.
Right.
Because it's something that I built, and it wasn't easy for me to build it. It took a lot of hard work to build the physical distribution. Yeah. Yes, it is trickling more and more and more. Yes, absolutely.
For writers, artists, bands, musicians,
yes,
who want to get into the business today, who want to reach someone like you,
yes,
what would your concrete pieces of advice be to them in terms of either their music or how they should be submitting, or any kinds of specific pieces of advice you could give?
Well, as a talent, I say talent is something that you're born with.
Right.
And music or anything artistic. Music, we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I always say music, fashion, and film is always together. But anything you do with being artistic, first of all, you have to believe in yourself and you have to be passionate about it. You cannot do it because you want to be rich. You cannot say, I want to be rich within a year or two, and then I want to make that money. It doesn't work. You got to be consistent. The key, and a lot of people give up, is you got to be consistent. Nobody cares what would it take for you to get there. Nobody want to hear that story. When you make it, then they want to hear it. But as you all are going along, nobody wants to hear it. Whatever you need to do, you have to do, legally. You got to emphasize on that, legally, please. You got to work hard. You got to be consistent. And as you consist and you're being consistent, you're going to get better and better. And you got to be active, meaning you have to be out there. You got to attend conventions. You got to go to things. You got to keep your eyes and ears open to see what's new in the world. You have to listen. And slowly, gradually, you will start becoming better and better and develop a better network. And without even knowing it, you will come across people. I'm always available. Piece of advice to sign people, give people a chance. I'm a big fan of giving anybody who has the talent and the quality and the hunger to be in the artistic business and the music business or the film business, because it's a lot of hard work. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. You got to believe in yourself and you got to keep going. You got to keep going and going and going. It will, and there's no time limit on it. There's no crystal ball. There's no special method or formula that I could tell you. I could say, oh, this is a formula. Buy my book and here's the formula. No, there isn't formula. The formula is hard work. Just continue. You're not physical, but you got to continue.
Some really useful information from Bob, especially for those of you looking for alternative options to license your music. So, insiders, question of the day. What were the most relevant things to you that Bob spoke about in our discussion with him? Was it the non-traditional outlets that he spoke of when licensing your music, such as airlines, cruise ships, shopping malls? Or was it something else that stood out to you? If you have any ideas or experiences that you'd like to share regarding this video, we'd love to hear from you and connect in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to MUBUTV for more information that educate, empower, and engage your music career. You can also check out a summary of this episode, everything we talked about, in the YouTube description as well. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd really love it if you hit the like button and let us know what other kinds of videos and types of content you want to see on our channel. Hit us up in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.